After a set of consultation rounds led by the European Union, the Directorate G, Components and Systems, and with the participation of the major technology developers and industrial users of embedded system technology, a new initiative under the category of Integrated Project was launched on September 2006 for the duration of 3 years. The IP SOCRADES, Service-Oriented Cross-Layer Infrastructures for Distributed Smart Embedded Devices, presents an unprecedented constellation of many of the major European ICT players and stakeholders of the industrial value chain, like Siemens, ABB, SAP, ARM and others, coordinated by Schneider Electric. One of the main outcomes of SOCRADES is the specification development and implementation of the first prototypes of a cross-layer service-oriented architecture for automation systems. In this architecture, automation devices expose their functionalities as web services, among them device-to-device and between devices and systems. And these devices and systems can be found from the shop floor throughout engineering levels to the IT enterprise level, ERP, MES. As a part of the project exploitation plan, a set of incremental demonstrations are being set up based on the development of industrial prototypes. One of these prototypes, currently in early stage, is dealing with the cross-layer interaction between devices and engineering systems. For example, real devices and virtual devices exposing services. It shows developments made by Schneider FlexLink Prototech. The demonstrator itself is separated into 4 parts: the hardware, the 3D model, which simulates the hardware, the control software, and at the end, the decision system. For this demonstrator, we have developed a small production cell in a closed-loop configuration, which offers modularity, flexible routing, and support for external decisions. The production cell has been separated into small, independent smart devices linked to individual conveyors, switch tables, and lifters. These devices are autonomous and communicate via web service interfaces. The exposed web services by the devices can be then used for further interactions, for example, to be monitored, configured, controlled, etc. The web service interface exposed by the real devices is exactly the same as the one which is exposed by the virtual devices in the 3D model. The production logic is designed with the high-level PetriNet models which follow the status of the production cell. When there is change of the state in the production line, the model is updated with this new information and can react, issuing control calls as required to the participating devices. The advantage of using PetriNets for designing the control logic is that these can be mathematically analyzed and validated, and also provides flexibility for decisions. Here shown is a view of the orchestration engine using the PNDK tool, it means PetriNet Design Kit, developed at Schneider. This tool is used here for designing workflows and as a runtime platform for the PetriNet models.
As the simulation starts, the devices publish their web service interfaces automatically to the network. The orchestrator can then search the network for the required devices, connects to them, reads their current status, and finally processes the workflow. At each change of the state, it evolves the system by following the sequence described in the PetriNet, which involves calling, waiting for, or responding to the services. As the pallet moves throughout the system, the PetriNet is updated according to what's happening on the shop floor by receiving events, notifications, or responses to previous service requests. In order to move the pallet from one conveyor to the next, there is an exchange of service calls between the orchestrator and the participating devices. When the pallet is moving, this movement is reflected in the orchestrator, in the same way as previously mentioned. Having a flexible system means that all of the sequences shouldn't be hard-coded, but should be decided on a set of production rules. The orchestrator features a control interface which allows having an external participant to take the decisions, for example, routing the pallet when there are many possible paths. The external participants could be anything from a human operator to a fully automatic software taking decisions based on business rules. In this case, the role of the decision maker is being provided by a human operator using the Materna DPWS Explorer tool as a generic web service client. Having the same web service for the virtual and the real devices, various use cases for engineering of service-oriented architecture systems are made possible, such as hardware-in-the-loop, monitoring, simulation, diagnosis, etc. Using as application domain a flexible electromechanical assembly cell provided by FlexLink Prototech, you have seen the major results achieved when real and virtual systems interact on a web-based service-oriented architecture principle.